bring back the resolution 2020-27. We have any comments, anything from the commissioners before we put this to a vote? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion.
I have some comments. This is a very, very difficult vote for me. I practiced law for 56 years, and there is a logic that I find in law written by a lot of very wise people, and following the principles that are in our Constitution. And our Constitution has an establishment clause that no government, our government, will not establish any kind of religion. And that's been interpreted as a clear separation of church and state, and that also includes Thomas Jefferson, obviously one of the founders, who in his private life was a religious man. So, and yet there is a court decision that says that a chaplain in Congress, who is appointed, who is of the Christian faith, that chaplain's prayers are to be allowed, and the justification is, well, it's kind of a traditional thing, that it's just part of what we do. But yet that's inconsistent with the Establishment Clause. And I think that in a town like Lake Wales, you can make a lot of friends with the idea that this is a Christian town and just go about your business. But there are other faiths, and the courts also hold that non-religion is ranked at the same level as all the other religious faiths. Mm-hmm. So now it comes to us. One of my comments was, and it's kind of religious, the Quakers, they have a moment of silence. Everybody is free to pray to their God. And yet that has kind of a religious tinge to it. That's frankly what makes the most sense to me, out of fairness. And there are so many persons of one religion who they're not necessarily in favor of religion as a whole. They are against somebody who has another different religion. And our earth is replete with history of where people have slaughtered one another only because of religious differences. Only because of religious differences. So this is very troubling to me. It's the easiest thing to do is to just vote for it. Well, majority rules. But I just don't think that that squares with the Establishment Clause in the Constitution. And there's a reason that Establishment Clause is in the Constitution. Because we declared a revolution against a government that was a church state. And so then our founders said we would be free of the dictates of religion, or all of this conflict that has occurred on earth between various religions. So now the easy way out is obvious, but 56 years of practicing law and reading cases and realizing what the purpose and intent of the Constitution is, that really troubles me. So, and the last thing I would say is repeat. I never thought I'd be a politician. I was driven to this because I was concerned about historic revitalization of the core of our town. Doesn't have a thing to do with religion. I liked being a private citizen and a lawyer in this community who was with a civic conscience because I could choose my issue. Now I've been elected and I can't choose my issue. This issue is being forced upon me. And it's very difficult for somebody like me, at least. Might not be so difficult for my fellow commissioners, but it's very difficult for me. It's really not my issue, but yet I have to vote. And you can't vote 60-40, you gotta vote yes or no, 100%, one way or the other. Even if you don't feel 100% one way or the other. So that just, I think probably few people think like I do and are concerned like I am. But this is a very, very difficult vote for me. It's something that I just wish I didn't have to do. And I think I know how.
Thank you. I think Deputy Mayor Gibson said a key thing. This was forced on us. We didn't pick this issue. But we are elected to do what we do. And we get put in tough positions where we have to make decisions best for our community. And I've been hearing everybody comments. I understand, I've been looking, and I guess what I would say is, I say for the record, we've been doing this for quite some time with our invocation, the way it's been running. Never had any issues. And now it's been brought to us, so now we got to take it on. Our city attorney has stated that he feels, and correct me if I'm wrong, he feels confident in the resolution that he proposed to make sure that we are following the law. I don't believe we're excluding, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe from what I'm reading we're excluding anybody from wanting to do an invocation. This is for Lake Wells, right? So I guess we're using the zip codes. for this purposes, and anybody within those zip codes, if they want to get put on the list, they can get put on the list.
That's not what it says.
And two, I think someone else mentioned, when we have community, communication and petition, we still sit here and listen to any and everybody that want to come up here and say what they feel they want to say, because it's their right. They have that right to do that. But we're not here to, I guess I can speak for myself. I'm not here to judge nobody, you know, and that's not my job. You know, you believe in who you believe, but I can tell you how I'm gonna walk, right? So that's, and I walk my walk, and people can make their own judgment on my walk. But I don't believe we're forcing anything on anybody or excluding anybody. I think the resolution that we have before us would be something that we need to move forward on. If there is any issues, well, I mean, our city attorney is here. That's why we have a city attorney.
Let me say something before I say something. Are you saying that if, Mrs. Bennett, is it Mrs. Bennett, lives in our Lake Wales area code, or zip code, if she puts her name on that list, she can come up and speak?
She got to contact the city clerk.
Okay.
Yeah,
So regardless, atheist or not, she can
she
speak?
can put her name on that list.
Okay.
But the regulation that you're voting on says that person has to be a clergyman. I'm
Right.
not a clergyman, therefore I can't speak.
Is that so?
It has to be part of the congregation.
So is she part of a are you, I mean, so how can you cipher that?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, if she says she's part of a group or something, so she would be excluded,
No, if she says she's part of a group, then.
she would be, okay, so it's no
Group,
problem.
Maybe the,
Non-theistic groups are recognized.
maybe the law
Exactly.
needs to the document needs to be rewritten because it says clergy. You have to be clergy, you have to be in the city limits. That's what it says. Doesn't it, Mr. Galloway?
No. It says congregations within the city limits. It doesn't say individuals.
And there is no non-theistic congregation in the city limits.
I read it and it said clergy. Any substitute for the chaplain has to be clergy and in the city of Lake Wales. You read that, it's there. I didn't bring it with me tonight.
Says that neither the city commission nor the city clerk shall engage in any prior inquiry, review of, or involvement in the content of any prayer to be offered by the chaplain or by the invocational speaker. So I guess the invocational speaker could be Mrs. Bennett.
And the invitation is going out to the leaders of religious communities from the city clerk, so.
Religious communities.
I'm not in a religious community, so I can't speak, right?
See, this was my concern during the workshop, that our language isn't exactly, and I favored one hiring or putting Dr. Moyer in, and then when he couldn't be available, or the assistant chaplain couldn't be available, we'd use a silent prayer. But as Mr. Gibson brought up, where he was thinking that somebody in the Lake Wales area code can be an invocational speaker. I don't know. But let me, I said I had two questions to this. Because I'm as torn on this as Mr. Gibson, our vice mayor. When I was growing up, I had a very divided family. As far as I know, I didn't have any atheists, but I had Baptists and Jews and Lutherans and et cetera, I even had a dog catcher. But the point is, I didn't take religion deeply. But then I served Uncle Sam in 1964, 1968, 1968, 1966, 68, 72, and 74. I saw a lot of death around. I've always heard about the fear of God, but during those years I found the love of God, and I accepted Him, and I accepted Christ. I was bar mitzvahed at 13, I was affirmed a Lutheran at 15. But I didn't go on to fire until 1964, and I faced it. And I feel today, especially today, when things are going through our nation, destroying history, destroying tradition, destroying everything else, and eventually destroying religion, as Adolf Hitler did, and killed 6 million Jews. I don't want to see us go down that path. I want to see everybody included, and that's why I brought up, if Mrs. Bennett can give something, fine. I don't have to believe what she's saying. I don't even know what denomination Dr. Moyer is saying. But if it helps other people in our community be comfortable, I'm for it. But on the same hand, the 60% of the people that don't believe in that, I don't want to slap them in the face either. So I'm probably making it a little bit more confusing for us on a vote. Am I not? I am, aren't I? You know? But the point, I have to let you know how I feel. I believe in God. And no matter how I vote tonight, it's not going to take it away from me. No matter if we have to go to silent prayer or a prayer by Dr. Moyer or a rabbi from on the outskirts of the city of Lake Wales, you know, is in our zip code. You know, we need to believe together. And we have so many things tearing us apart. You heard Terry here talking earlier tonight. We have so many things tearing our community apart. We don't need anything else to tear us apart. But I'm afraid this is doing it. Thank you.
All right. If we don't have any other comments, I will entertain a motion.
You have a
You
comment?
got a comment?
Okay.
Going to say to our deputy mayor that I don't know if you implied that separation of church and state is in our Constitution, and of course that's not. We do have freedom of religion, and of course at that time it was Catholic, Protestant, and Jewish. So it's. But we don't, as a nation, put down anyone, but we do honor the Lord. And it's definitely on the Bible, and it's, anyway, I prayed during regular time, and I think an atheist, if they want to pray, they can come during the time to, for the petition. Anyway, those are thoughts. Thank you. Bless you.
All right, thank you. And I would entertain a motion at this time for Resolution 2020-27.
Move, resolution 2020-27.
Second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Curtis Gibson?
Yes.
Commissioner Howell? Yes. Commissioner Goldstein?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Robin Gibson?
No.
Mayor Folk?
Yes. Move forward to new business.